Hi CJ, how did you know you were a lesbian?
How did I know I was a lesbian? Well, I think it was started in my preteen years. There was a girl in summer school that I thought was so pretty. I would tell my friends, "Ooh, Brenda's foxy," because that was the word back then. And I would spend a lot of times looking through teen-type magazines, seeing if having a crush on a girl was normal. And when my monthly teen magazine finally arrived, I saw an article that said, yes, it's normal to have crushes on girls if you're a girl. And I was elated by that. So that was kind of my first indication that I might be a lesbian.
So, how did I know I was a lesbian? It was by the butterflies, because I didn't really feel butterflies when I would go out with boys. I didn't like feeling any kind of scruffiness against my cheek. I didn't like how they smelled very much. Not like they were stinky, like I just didn't feel attracted to them. Like when you smell someone you're into, this sounds really weird, but you kind of feel that, and I'd never felt that. So I kind of knew because of the butterflies. And I actually and when friends would ask me, how was the date with a guy in middle school and high school, I would say it was okay, but there was nothing else really to say. Like, they would all leave their dates being like, oh my god, it was amazing, he's so cute, he's so funny, and I just didn't really feel that. I mean, for me, it was fine. We watched a movie, he held my hand, he tried to kiss me, and it was uncomfortable. Or he did kiss me, and it's uncomfortable. And so the first time I felt butterflies was for this girl in my class, and I remember thinking, this is what it's supposed to feel like. In all those YA books, they talk about it.
How did I know I was gay? I don't really think there was one definite moment in my life that made me think, oh, I'm gay. Like, there were a few moments over the years. Some were sexual, but I mean, the earliest memory, what I did wasn't inherently gay. It was just more feminine. When I used to like wearing dresses. As I said, that isn't inherently gay. It's just more feminine, I guess.
I'm Adam, and I'm gay. And the first question being asked is, how did I know that I was gay? Well, it was quite a gradual process, I think. I think it was around the age of sort of 10 or 11 when I started to notice that I was feeling attractions to guys, but I never thought I was properly gay. I just thought I was bi or queer or whatever. And it wasn't until around the age of sort of 15, 16 when I started to realise that I don't really feel attracted to girls anymore. And it was around that time when I realised, and I think I spent a lot of time sort of in denial, going, oh no, I'm not gay, I'm just, bisexual or something. I didn't want to... I felt like if I'd have just kept telling people that I was bisexual, it would be much more accepted than being gay. But now I know that I am, and I'm open about it, so I'm over that little thing now, and I hope that I can continue to just be accepting of who I am.
I knew that I was omnisexual because the definition just kind of instantly clicked. Like, if that makes sense. It just kind of made sense for me. And I was kind of unsure of everything else. Nothing else really stuck. And omnisexual just it just fit like that.
So I didn't really have a moment of clarity, so to say, realising that I was trans. It was kind of more realising over the period of a few months, kind of like thinking, oh, would I actually be more comfortable with myself as a man? Would I be happier as a man? And the answer to those questions every time turned out to be yes. It was kind of a bit difficult for me because I didn't show any extremely obvious signs growing up. The signs were there, but they weren't really very obvious, and I would probably attribute that to being bullied. So I didn't really want to do anything that would make me stand out, make me more of a target. But yeah, so there wasn't really a moment of clarity, but kind of asking myself, like, would I be happier as a man? Would I feel more comfortable as a man? Is kind of what made me realise.
How did it go when you came out?
Well, it didn't go very well because I had a crush on a woman who was a lesbian, and she didn't want to give me the time of day. So it didn't go well. I eventually stopped pursuing, and I got together with someone else that I met through an ad. I was with her for a little bit, and then when that went south, the one that wouldn't give me the time of day was all of a sudden interested in me. And we got together, and I was with her for 18 very long years. And that's how I ended up coming out to my family and my friends. And it didn't go very well after I came out either, because my family, they weren't real happy with me. And then I found out it wasn't that they weren't happy with me, who I was. They weren't happy with my choice of who my partner was. But I didn't find that out for 18 years after. So anyway, for the most part, it wasn't like violent or horrendous. It was okay, and I did lose some friends, but that's okay because I made others.
For the question, am I out? I guess there's not really coming out completely, as anyone who's come out will know. I've come out to my family, my sister, my parents, my aunts, my cousins, my grandmother. They all accept me. However, I'm not out at church. I'm not out at my girlfriend's house because it's not safe for her. So I don't think you're ever fully in or out of the closet. If you are completely out, that's awesome. If you are completely in, I'm sorry. But I do hope that you're able to get out soon and, be free.
Have I come out? Yes, I have. I've come out to more my parents and all my friends. I haven't come out to my family yet. And yeah, well, it went well. My parents were really supportive about it. So were my friends. There were a few. I was really scared to tell my parents and a few of my friends because they were religious. And I was just really scared to tell them. And no, it went fine. Everyone that I've told so far has been really supportive of my sexuality, which is lucky. And I know that a lot of people don't have that same experience, which is why I'm really grateful for that, I guess.
Out. Yes, I have, to both my parents, and I came out to them as gay only a few months back. I came out as bisexual to them at first, and when I came out as bi, they were both very accepting. My mum was very cool about it. My dad, although, because my dad's quite kind of laddish, his sort of reaction was, oh, that's fine then, because that means you could still marry a woman. So, completely missing the point. And I knew I was gay at that time. I just really, didn't want to go into it because I don't think he'd really get it. I wouldn't describe him as homophobic or anything. He just finds it difficult to understand. But then when I came out as gay, my mum was very cool about it. She was very accepting. And then, what I expected to happen happened. My dad was quite uncomfortable with it. He started to act sort of differently around me. But over these last few months, I've been able to open his eyes and make his view on the LGBTQ+ community more progressive. And so now he's much more accepting and much more open about it. And I think that's good. And of course, I'm one of the lucky ones. Not everyone has, a safe environment to come out in. But honestly, once you do, it's such a big weight off your shoulders. You feel so much lighter, metaphorically. So my message to anyone who's in the closet at the moment is, it may get worse before it gets better. Maybe you're not, in the best environment to do it, but trust me, you will be able to surround yourself with a whole community who will be there to support you no matter what.
And yes, I have come out. I have come out to my family. I'm not sure if they remember that I identify as omnisexual, but they know I'm gay. They know I'm queer. And my friends as well. It doesn't come up a lot, but yeah. And I also, on my Instagram, have come out as omnisexual, so people know. And luckily, it went really well. Like, luckily, everyone around me, I surround myself with a lot of good, accepting people, so that's really good for me. Although I do get some hate for being omnisexual from other people in the LGBT community, because a lot of people question whether it's a real label, like that kind of thing, like discourse.
For example, at school, there are certain people that know because I've told them, and then certain people that know because they've been told by other people, which I don't mind. Like, I want people to know, but I'm pretty socially awkward, so I never correct people when they use my dead name or pronouns that I feel uncomfortable with. So I've kind of technically come out, and coming out to friends went very well. They were very supportive. Coming out to my parents has been a different story. I've come out to my parents, I think 4 times now, and they're still in denial about it. And I don't think I've been firm enough with them, and I think that's out of fear that they're gonna judge me or they won't love me anymore, which I know is silly because I know that they will love me, but, you know, like, rationally, I know that they'll still love me, but emotionally, I'm scared that they won't. So yeah, that's why I haven't been firmer with my parents. But yeah, so technically I have come out, but not really, if you see what I mean.
What's it like being a lesbian in your country?
I think I'm actually kind of fortunate being lesbian here in America, because I've read some terrible things like in Muslim type countries, and it's not necessarily the Muslim faith that are hard on lesbians. It's more like ISIS and men. And also in South Africa, horrible things happen to a lot of lesbian South African women. They get correctively raped by men because the men think that they can help who they are, and they can't. They were born like that. They didn't choose to be like that. So I think I'm actually rather fortunate that I'm here in America. We still have hate towards lesbians and gays, but it's nothing like it could be in other countries.
Being gay in England, it's alright, to be fair. I mean, there's still quite a lot of stigma, and well, this government, I just don't know really where anything's going with this government in terms of anything, knowing what they're like.
What's it like being gay in the UK? It's generally, like, politically and society-wise, it's pretty good, I think. You know, it's a lot better than other countries. I mean, gay marriage is now legal. You know, there's rules within the law which prevent discrimination due to sexual, orientation. And so a lot has been done, to improve it. However, I do think, there is more that needs to be done. So I personally don't believe the current government has done enough to, to tackle equality, but that's a different topic entirely. And I think that we need to improve the Equality Act, and we also need to, take the stigma of, being gay or being trans or whatever in society is weird and, not natural, which is a stigma that still sometimes exists in society in the UK, and it's something that definitely needs to be stopped. But I think with my generation, especially the younger generation, our generation, we are much more accepting of it, and hopefully as we grow into adulthood, that whole viewpoint will start to disappear. At least that's what I hope, because all we can do as a younger generation is work towards a better future, and I think that's what we should aim to do, and make the UK, try to make it as equal as we possibly can.
It's pretty good to be LGBT in my country. I live in the US, so it's pretty good here for white queer people. But there's also a lot of hate and a lot of work that still has to be done, obviously. Not every place is perfect, and the US is far from it.
In the UK, as you can probably tell by my accent, and it's kind of a mixed bag being trans in the UK. I think I'm pretty lucky because if you can't tell by my accent, I live in a pretty middle class area, which is good because people are more educated, but it's also bad because it's a pretty Tory area. There are lots of old people, lots of ignorant old people, and Boris Johnson isn't the best ally out there, but yeah. So, like, for example, the school I go to is very tolerant. Even though I have experienced people kind of calling me names and stuff, it could be much, much worse. But at the same time, it could be better. It's kind of, like I said, a mixed bag being trans in the UK. Because, as we speak, Boris Johnson's trying to roll back trans rights and stuff. So it's kind of scary, but it could be much, much worse, I think. So yeah.